Hey, you. Welcome to another episode of Coffee with E. When I tell you this one, you are going to get so much energy just from the sound of her amazing voice. You know, when you know someone is anointed or just have so much favor, like you know God is living with them, walking in their purpose. I promise you, this one is not going to disappoint. And if you stay to the end or listen to the end, if you're watching, you're going to probably see me cry because she literally brought me to tears. And we're talking about none other than Sade Truiett. She has a message. She is a missionary, evangelist. Don't even know it yet, y'all. And she has this amazing nonprofit business called Girl Talk. And she is uplifting women in Delaware. We're going from 10 to about over 1,000 women that she's being able to impact in such a positive way. I need you to stay tuned, y'all, because this one is sure to lift your spirits. Hi, you are in my seat.
I am.
You know what? I'm really excited because you may be the furthest distance guest that we had, the first one. So coming from Delaware, she came from Delaware, y'all, to sit down and have coffee with me.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm really excited about it. You know why I'm excited? Because the mutual connection that we actually have. So today we're just going to have a conversation.
Yeah, some good old girl talk.
Yeah, some good old girl talk. That's right. So then why is it important for us to sit down? Because you are dynamic. That's why. And I don't know if you've had an opportunity to look at our platform to see what we're all about, just being your authentic self.
Love it. Love it.
Life into the young people. I really think it's really important. So sitting down with you is just something I think is going to add value to the community. So yeah, so they're probably like, well, why? Why Miss Erica? Why Auntie? Right? Well, let's check this out. What do you do? And I want to get a little bit of background information on your family and how you've become into the space that you're in today. Can we start there?
Yeah, we can. I mean, it's a loaded question, but we're going to go there.
We are going to go there. We have some
We're
time.
gonna go there. Yeah, we got some time.
You got a coffee, you got your
gas, I got my water, all the things. So first of all, I'm just honored that to be sitting with you. You know, a lot of times I get a lot of phone calls, a lot of requests, but I'm very prayerful about the things that I take because when you are a purpose-driven woman, you have to kind of adjust your access and availability. And so driving from Delaware was a purpose move tonight. It wasn't a let's just go. It was because God sanctioned this moment, and not to be all deep and super spiritual, but that's just how I flow. So that's why I'm here, that this is purpose. It's an assignment. Somebody somewhere is going to hear this, and they're going to need whatever we have in this conversation to edify them, to get them to that next level.
Why am I getting all emotional?
Yeah, because it's your season too, right? It's your season too. Like, you're not just doing this just to talk. It's your season too. It's a divine moment.
Yeah.
So who is Sade? So military brat, born in Panama. My dad was in the military.
You were born in Panama.
Born in Panama. And honey, I think I'm Panamanian, right? My dad says, I tell people that.
No, you need to tell people that.
My mom was from Charleston, South Carolina. My dad was from Baltimore. And I am Panamanian in my mind, okay?
I know that's right.
So born in Panama, my parents' last base was Dover Air Force Base, which being a military brat child was like the best time of my life. I didn't even know a world outside of our military base existed because of just how much love I have. Like, I met my best friends at 2 years old, and we still are best friends to this grown-up age. Like, that's just how,
that is awesome.
Sacred that was. And I have an older brother, LaRon, and I have a younger brother, Josh. And LaRon was a superstar in basketball. He played in the NBA. And then
what team?
Washington Wizards, the LA Lakers. So then he went overseas international. So could you imagine, like, and then I was a sheltered church girl. So my mom,
have a whole
I was a sheltered church girl. And then I had this superstar brother. So there was a lot of trying to balance that world and looking for identity and all that stuff. We'll get to that. But so went to school in Delaware, graduated from Caesar Rodney, went to the Delaware State University, got a degree, the Delaware State University.
Okay, Hornet.
Yes. What you know about Hornet?
Well, my son graduated from Delaware State. Yes. What? DSU, yeah.
Oh,
he played football for there too.
Like, I just love it. What? So okay, we Hornet proud.
Yes,
so
yes.
Got a degree there in English education, got a master's in public administration, taught for a hot second I taught.
Okay.
That was not
your
middle school.
Lord Jesus. Okay.
Yeah, that was not my calling, but what was my calling was teen girls. And so in the middle of leaving teaching and going into school leadership as a program director, I was program director at a Title I school. So Title I schools are, the lack of a better word, the schools that have not a lot of resources. It's a vulnerable population, mostly Black and brown kids, normally in the inner city part of the town. And so as the only Black woman in school leadership at that particular school, there were girls that were always, the Black girls would always find their way to my office, and they would knock on the door. And being that the school, they told me that, Truiett, we're just putting you here. They're going to close the school down in 3 years. You're just going to be there just to kind of keep it going.
Yeah.
Ain't no keep it going on Sade watch. No, we're going to renew and get some things together. Like, you don't get to put me somewhere and say, keep it. No. We're going to renew it.
Right.
So with the help of an amazing team there and the parents there, the school got renewed for 5 years. But in the middle of that, these girls just kept knocking on my door. And so one day I said, you know what, girls, because I was in the middle of a moment, I'm going to come on Saturday. I'm going to open up the building. We're going to go in the gym. I'll order some pizza. If y'all find a way here, I'll figure out how to get y'all home. Just be here at 12. Honey, they came.
Oh,
they came.
See?
And for a year.
Hated it.
Oh my God.
Craving it.
Yo, like, had no idea. And at that time I was like 26, looking for identity for my own self, just graduated from college. All the things were happening at that time. So we did it. And from 6 girls to 30 girls to 100 girls to 200 girls to the whole school, every girl in the school was in Girl Talk, to now the program has served over 1,000 girls across our state. And I mentor girls in Africa.
What?
Only God, right? Only God. A sheltered church girl who didn't know her identity, went through a crazy heartbreak when I was in the end of my high school years into my college years, looking for answers, found God in the middle of that. Like only God can bring you to your point of purpose through so much pain. And so I'm so grateful to mentor these girls, and I still do. And we're having to redefine it because of just where life is taking me to more ministry assignments and things of that nature. But I mean, I had girls that were told they weren't going to make it. I've been to girls' houses in the middle of drug busts. I have girls had temporary custody of. I mean, like, I was in the grind. And at the time, I didn't even know I was mentoring, Erica. I was like, I'm just helping the girls. Like, this is what good people do. We just help people.
That's when you know you're in your purpose, right? When you don't know that you're mentoring, you're just doing the activities or walking in that space and being the person that they need.
Yeah.
You're filling in the gaps.
Yeah. And like, some of them call me mom. And for so many years, I cringed at that because I'm like, I never birthed these girls. But as you get, when you understand your purpose, you love what a mother does, and I'm like, yeah, I do nurture them. Yes, I am that go-to person. And I'm so blessed. I get emotional talking about my girls because they have overcome things that, I mean, my goodness, thank God for my little shelter church girl life. Cause I'd be like, that's happening? Like, where is this happening? Like, what? They have overcome some amazing things, and they graduated from Spelman and Hampton University and Howard University. And one of my girls is working for one of the biggest technology firms in the world. Like, they're doing amazing, building houses, getting married, having babies, breaking generational curses and drama, coming back to say thank you,
Wait. Well, we gotta stop because there's a lot. Hey, I'm hoping you're enjoying this episode of Coffee with E. I had to take 30 seconds to share with you one of our sponsors for this episode, Top Construction. They are a premier construction company located in Central PA. So if you live in Dauphin, Cumberland, Lancaster, and Lebanon counties, you want to check them out. Not only are they reliable, they are reasonable, and they get the job done. Now, let's go back to the episode. Okay, so how long have you been doing this? How did you grow from maybe 4 or 5 people up to over thousands, to thousands of people? Like, how'd that happen?
So we started in 2014, just meeting in the gym for a year. I was
11 years?
Yeah. My baby. Yeah. My baby.
You started in a gym.
Literally in a gym with pizza in a circle. And I heard what the things they were talking about. I was like, ooh, they need some self-esteem building. Ooh, they need some leadership. Ooh, she needs some etiquette. Ooh, we got to talk about this relationship stuff. Okay, we got to talk about this mother and dad dynamic. Ooh, we got to put some respect on that. Ooh, I started hearing all the things they were going through. And so from that, I would develop topics from that stuff. But then I also add fun things. Like, we did Zumba one day.
Yeah.
Erica, I took them to a hotel for a sleepover. Probably 90% of them had never been to a hotel before. So I rented out Dover Downs.
You gotta be kidding me.
And like, just
Dover Downs, I know that.
Yes. Valleys now officially.
Oh,
but like, I had called a friend that was working at Dover Downs. I was like, hey, I'm gonna have a sleepover for my girls. They gave me like 4 rooms adjacent. took the Dover Downs. Some of them never went to a pool before. I took them to the buffet there. They never had a dining experience. But I wanted to give them, the truth of it is, if we're really, really honest, is I never had a big sister.
Okay.
I always wanted a sister. My brothers are A1. Nobody can replace Lamont or Josh, okay? They're my best friends. They are A1. But I think because I've always admired women and I always wanted someone to just have a big sister. My mom is great, but she's mom.
Right.
But I always wanted to have that. So I was blessed to have, my god sister and different ones come into my life. But I always wanted to make sure that I wanted to be with what I needed for these girls. And in doing that, I was healing myself and didn't even know it. I was healing the part of me that wanted something that I was able to give to someone else. So I was just being big sis Sade, like, at church girls, we go on trips and conferences. That's what we do. So I brought some of that stuff into the school. And when I left the school, the program just wouldn't leave. So I had a great friend. I shout out to Lamont and Vashita Pierce, who are pastors, and they had a church, and they said, you can use our building on Saturdays to continue your mentoring program. And so I continued the mentoring program. Yes, on Saturdays, I continued the program, Christmas parties and guest speakers. And I would call my friends and be like, who wants to sponsor lunch this week for the girls? And they'd be like, I got you this week. I got you next week. Here's some money. Like my village wrapped around it because they were seeing, the work that was happening in these girls and the lives that were being changed, for my girls to call me and say, you know what, I had opportunity to really go off on my teacher, but I remember what we talked about in Girl Talk. You know what I mean?
You were making an impact.
Christmas, they were like, can we go to church with you? I'm like, what? Yes. So, and then some of them have their mothers in their lives. Moms would be like, girl, you're the only one that can get through. Thank you for what you're doing, So it matters, that matters. They're my heart and soul. I know that God put me on this earth to mentor young girls and women now. So it's totally expanded now. There's a whole ministry that God has given me that I'm blessed to be able to go all over the place and speak and all those things. But I liken this to David in the field. There was no cameras. Ain't nobody taking the social media clips of this stuff. This is me in the grind. And I had no idea that God was preparing me in that season for the next seasons of my life, that those girls taught me so much about me that it's just mind-blowing. So I love them.
So how did they teach you? Give us a glimpse into what they had taught you about yourself.
Yeah, I think how to deal with a lot of different personalities, I come from a very you do what I say as I do world, whereas children, especially women, didn't have a voice. Well, these chicks was like, nah, we got something to say. This ain't we hear what you have to say about relationships and boys. But back in your day, it wasn't social media. It wasn't all these things happening. Listen to us. Let us talk. Let us brainstorm together. So that part, I'm like, you're right. You do have agency in this. You're right. I am the adult in the room, but you're absolutely correct. You have agency in this. Tell me what you need. How can I help you? So that was a big thing for me. And learning how to speak up for my own self. I was telling them to advocate for themselves and speak up, but I would go in boardrooms and have to negotiate contracts, and I would be quiet in there. And I had to learn, no. You're not going to tell these girls to be wonderful and great.
So do you think being quiet in the boardroom ties a little bit to our upbringing in church?
1000%.
Yeah.
You can be seen, but not to be heard.
Yes.
And that was my thing growing up in the church. Was I love the order and respect where women had a place.
They have a place.
You guys, the women are selling dinners in the kitchen. Right. The women are over here. The woman, you can give the inspirational message, but you can't preach on Sunday morning. The woman has to look a certain type of way. I was going to hell for what I have on. No, I'm fully covered today, so I'm all right today. But this lipstick, honey, no. Right? That, it bothered me, Erica.
No, I'm laughing because you are not lying. You're making the truth. Yeah.
It's bothered me. I'm like, why can I not show up and be my best self?
Yeah.
Why am I not enough even in this setting? And if this is the God that we're serving, then I'm really confused.
So confused. So I had so many questions for God. Yeah, what in the world? Yeah.
And there's so much more to life. And I think mentoring those girls, and then I think it also matters when I begin to, I left, I went to my mom at 16 and said, Mom, I really love our upbringing. I really love our church family, but the church that we're at is not where I need to be anymore. And I was prepared for Mom to give me all the rebuttal of why I had to stay because I was still living at home. I was 16 when I went to her with this. I was just like, I have got to grow. And my mom and dad were like, go find the church that you're going to grow in Boston at. And that was the best.
Those are some good parents.
What?
Some good parents.
I'm so blessed.
Yes.
And I went at 17. I will never forget this day. In order to be a member of my church that I'm at now, Crossroad Christian Church, Pastor Anthony Wallace, shout out to him. Okay. You had to be 18 to become a member.
Yeah.
And I went to orientation. I was like,
you had to be 18
to be a member of the church because you had to sign.
Minor. Okay, gotcha.
I was a minor. Yes. I was coming, do all the things, but in order to be like an official member, and I never forget, I went to orientation. Pastor Wallace said, she's fine. She's fine.
I want to take 2 seconds to share with you that this particular episode is brought to you by Rob Shaw and Allstate Insurance. If you're looking for someone to give you insurance, whether it's home insurance, car insurance, go to him. He is your guy. Thank you, Rob, for sponsoring this show.
And that, Erica, it did something to me. It brought me into, I felt like, wow, I'm seen here. There's a place for me here. And this man has already sanctioned me with saying, I got her.
Wow.
I got her. She's welcome here.
You felt heard. You felt like, yes, I can figure it out here.
I can figure it out here. Like that was a big thing. And that was the first time I think in my Christian walk, I stood up for myself in that way. I was just like, who at 16 is saying they don't want to, you do what your parents say, but I had a relationship with God for myself. I was talking to God. It was spoken over my life years, what God was going to do for me. So I already been talking to God. I'm like, God, I got this, we got to shake some things up. Like, all right, I'm going to live for you, but this right here, like these rules is making me nervous. Like,
well, whose rules were they? You know what I mean? I grew up in Pentecostal church.
Me too.
Yeah. So a lot of those rules, I believe, although they're biblical based, I think that we put some extra sauce on it. Yeah. So it's just like, it was hard. Like, and being a preacher kid living in a fishbowl, it's just like,
I couldn't know.
So, yeah, it was a lot.
It was a lot. But I think even at 17 to prepare me for my mentoring with the girls is being able to speak to them about Jesus and relationship and be like, but the choice is yours.
Right.
And I'm going to love you whatever you choose. My girls live all kind of lifestyles that they know mom don't really approve of, but I love you. Mm-hmm. So I love you enough to look beyond that because you're going to come along. You can't stay connected to me.
Right.
And not get into alignment with what God has for your life. So I'm going to let you go through a little season. But it gave me the freedom to say, I love them. Regardless of what you choose, whoever you become, I love you.
Yeah.
And I know that the love that I have for you is going to make you want to live in a way that is pleasing to whatever your purpose and alignment is. But yes, my babies are everything to me. I'm always on the phone texting and graduation party. I think I have like 17 parties to go to.
You handle it all. You by yourself? You're not a woman show, are you?
So unexpectedly, my dear friend who helped me with all of this work, who was my best friend, passed away in December 27th of 2024. So she was the one that kind of like, she organized all the things and, she helped a lot. But Sade is also a businesswoman at heart. So when I saw that I was leaving education, I began to partner with school districts. And so I do Girl Talk during the academic school day.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I go to the schools now instead of having to find the place, feed them, all the things.
Yeah.
I partner with school districts. So it makes my life so much easier. So I like to show up for Girl Talk. I do have some people that I use on standby to come in and do it. But as much as I can go, I do. And I scheduled around my availability to do it. But Kim was my person that did all the background. So no, I haven't found the amazing person to help with that yet. But she was, they're coming. They gotta come. This is God's person. He gotta send the person.
Oh, that's right.
So yeah, she was the one that did all of that, travel with me, all the things. So, but that was a good life lesson in itself for me as well. I had to make some necessary transition and make some things and do some things differently.
Yeah.
You know how we do. We adjust. We cry and we scream and we upset. But when purpose is on you, at some point you got to change your garments and be like, you know what? I said yes to God.
And the girls are looking at you, how you handle.
Well, I know, Aisha.
More than I know. Yeah.
More than I know.
Yeah, 100%. So the people that graduated, are they coming back and say, hey, how can I help?
Yes, a lot of them they do. A lot do. So to answer your question about how I decide, I've gotten to the point now that I don't feel bad anymore. So if it fits into my schedule and I can go, I go. But I am, I'll send the Cash App. I am texting mom, whoever's organizing the parties, let them know I love them. My scent is on it somewhere. Whether I send the balloon money, whether I whatever. I make sure my scent is on it somewhere so they know that I'm there. But if it fits into the schedule, it fits. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. And what's so funny, I saw my mom the other day, one of my mentees, I called her, I was like, I'm so sorry I haven't called you back. And then she's like, you're about the Father's business.
I know,
like,
right.
We understand that you on a mission. And those that don't understand, Mom, they're not the one for you. They're not the one for you. So it's like, they get it, you know, they understand now, which I'm so blessed, you know. And I think that I stay connected with them. We have several group chats. And so every week I am in constant communication with them in our group text messages. When things happen, I give a phone call real quick or voice memo. I'm always somewhere connected to them. And they have learned to just tap into me. Like, I have a speaking engagement, they'll just show up. Like yesterday, I had to speak somewhere and they're like, we're here. I love you guys. You know, they'll just show up.
That's because you showed how much you cared. You poured into them. So, of course, they're going to show up for you.
I love that.
That's just the way it goes. You know what I mean? You planted those seeds. Like, okay, yeah, this is how you show up for people. You showed them how to show up for people.
Yeah. It's important.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes I think even with our own girlfriend circles, it's like, I can't always be the whatever, but I can show up in some way. You know, I can come to the event and be in the back. I can make sure you got your slacks to switch out after you get done speaking or whatever. Like, it matters. Those little things really matter. And, you know, I am big on that with, you know, as busy as my world is, I try to always make sure that the people that I love, my scent is somewhere there. And as much as I can show up, I want to show up. I really, really do. So I try my hardest. Yeah. I don't feel bad anymore.
What's the legacy that you want to leave? I mean, this is huge. I mean, because if you graduated from Delaware State, you can't be but in your early 30s, right?
Early 30s, child. I just had a birthday last week. I'm still processing it.
Yeah.
I turned 37 last Tuesday. Well, that's the first time I said 37.
That's awesome. So you're still young.
Yeah.
So what legacy did you intend to leave?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
In a world where you can be anything, be kind. In a world where you can be anything, be kind. People, at the core of Girl Talk, is just me just extending kindness to these girls. Just being nice to people. People are having all kind of things happening that we have no idea about. And if I'm going to live for God, on my bad day, I still have to extend kindness to you. And so for me, the legacy that I want my girls to always remember, that I don't care how someone treats you, what they say to you. Yes, there's boundaries and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, be kind.
Be kind.
There have been seasons in my life that I was fighting battles that no one knew about, but someone would come along and just give me a hug or say, you're doing your thing, girl. Thank you for showing up today. Those things matter. Those things, in a world where you can be anything, society is going to tell you all day long who you should be, who you need to be, what you need to do, what you need to have, what does success look like. No,
it's
be
exhausting.
Kind.
Yeah. And it costs you nothing. It costs you nothing to be kind.
That's the thing I love about God. Yes. You know, at the end of the day, with all my mess ups, with all the things that I deal with, God's love and his kindness draws me every single day. He don't hold it against me.
Yeah.
He don't hold it against me. I went out to dinner a few weeks ago and the waiter was terrible. I mean, she had to come back and apologize. She was so terrible. And I'm not moved by that stuff. Right. Because I get it. She probably rushing to work. She got a kid at home.
What happened to her? You know what I mean? Yeah, just be kind.
Because she's going to think about that later. And I still tipped her.
Good for you.
You know what I mean? Because we have to be kind. And here's the thing. We went back to that restaurant. That girl came running out the kitchen to apologize. I had a terrible week last week.
See?
It's all good, sweetheart. I get it, child. I want somebody to be nice to me on a bad day. You know what I mean? But in a world where we can be anything, my legacy is that. And one day when I have a daughter, the one thing I want my daughter to be, just be nice to people. You know how to be around nice people? You can't wait to get around them.
Not wait.
They just sweet and loving.
Magnet.
And so you're not going to act up and cut up with those people because they're just like, I can't wait to get around them.
Right.
Just be nice to people. People are fighting battles that, woo, my goodness, that thank God we don't have to fight, you know? So be kind.
Always remember how you make them feel.
Yeah.
Always.
Mother Teresa, like, she's one of my biggest, like, inspirations in life because people always ask me, you know, if you were not doing anything, what would you be doing? I would be traveling the world doing missions work, digging wells, building schools. That's what I want to do.
Really?
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Like that's my ultimate dream. Like my prayer is like, God, make my schedule so that 3 months out the year I can do.
I'm hearing you say.
I thought about my church girl.
Yes. She better go.
Yeah. So yeah.
That is awesome. Big thank you to Sugaring NYC Harrisburg for sponsoring this episode. It's because of them we're able to bring this great content to you. Are you searching for a fabulous place that does lashes and eyebrows that slay, or hair removal that just makes you feel so great? You want to check them out. Now back to our show. So then growing up with your, with your brother in the spotlight, and then there's just, there's you over here trying to figure it out. Oh, well, I want to do something, big and impactful. Like, how did that, like, how do you figure out what your identity was and do all of that, right? And also with, with the church and, people looking at you, expecting you to work or live a certain way. And how did that all?
Yeah. So I have to,
She's like,
yeah. I have to
we're going to take this.
I have to say that in our household, that my mom and dad made it very clear, there's no superstars in our household.
I know that's
Like your brother plus
loving your parents.
Yeah, they're good people. They're good. They are like helicopter parents, but they good people. Oh, shout out helicopter, but they good. They mean well, honey. They mean well. But my mom and dad made it very clear, like there are no superstars in this family.
Good.
Your brother just happens to play basketball. He's very good at it. And we're a very family. He happens to play basketball. He's very good at it.
Happened to be in the NBA.
Yeah. And I think because we have Christ at the center of our family, that like, we are family people. Like Bernetta shuts it. That's my mom. Like she don't care if I'm in Africa with Oprah or Michelle Obama on Christmas, Thanksgiving, and your birthday. Y'all need to be home. We're gonna celebrate together. Like my mom is very family oriented, and I love that about our family. So we're very close. So I think that before he even ascended to where he was, we're in each other's business all the time. Like we are a very close family.
Yes.
To the point that we're like, all right, back up. All right. So, but honestly, Erica, it was very hard to go to, LaRon played at the University of Maryland College Park and then went to the NBA. And I'm around women who don't look like me.
Age difference.
9 years.
Okay.
9 years. I'm around women who don't look like me. They're light skinned. They're these women on music videos. Some of them are nice, some of them are not nice. All they want is my brother's attention.
That part.
Oh my God. So, and coming from where I come from, we dress modestly. I'm all the things to just feeling like you just didn't belong. You didn't look like them. My brother wasn't dating women that looked like me. And we've had that conversation in years prior, and he's understood, like, now.
Yeah.
And so then he goes to the NBA where I'm around, Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant and all the people.
Yeah.
It was overwhelming. I mean, I did my best to show up as a supportive sister, but I will never forget the night that it was my 16th birthday, and LaRon and the Washington Wizards had just won the championship game, their playoff game. It's my 16th birthday, and we're at a playoff game. Everyone is like excited about, oh my God, you're going to a playoff game. I had an attitude the whole game.
I mean, you were turning 16.
And nobody could care less.
It was
just it's a big deal. And so at the end of the night, we go to Old Ebbitt Grill, which is one of my favorite restaurants in DC. And like the people come out to happy birthday to me. Everybody's like, what is wrong with you? Like, you just have an attitude. But what they didn't know is like, I always have to share my world with these moments.
Oh, yeah.
I'm never seen. It's always LaRon's sister at this season of my life.
Right.
It's always LaRon's sister. I'm always, it was just too much.
It was a lot.
It was too much. And being around all of that and no fault to my family, they were navigating it too. So nobody knew how to check in to say.
New territory for everybody.
It was too much. And then I felt ungrateful because I should be excited. I mean, my brother is like, we're best friends on and off the basketball court. But it was hard finding identity because then I see these girls who I look up to and admire with these men. So I want to be in a relationship. And I'm like 17, 18. I want to know what it is, to be in all this, whatever. And it was a lot. And then I began to attract people in your life that only want to be your friend because your brother plays in the NBA.
Oh, man.
Right? You know what I mean? Who doesn't want a front row ticket to an NBA game? Who doesn't want to say there was Sade and whatever? So navigating that, Erica, was very hard. And I made some bumps and bruises along the way. And this is where purpose found me.
Right.
So in that, honey, I met Vacation Bible School. I was like 15 or 16. LaRon was in the height of his career, and I met who I thought I was going to be with for the rest of my life. Okay?
Yes.
Birthdays the same day, born 2 minutes apart.
Okay.
And his daddy is a preacher.
God ordained.
Come on, look, we 15 and he's already 6'6" with blue eyes.
Ooh,
and he wants too. Who does he want?
Yeah.
He wants me.
Okay.
And Bernetta don't like nobody.
Right.
But she loved this particular one.
Yeah.
She just fell out. I mean, he came to my house and sat in the living room with me, and she didn't say anything.
Yeah.
So you couldn't tell me that this was not going to be my husband in the middle of all this. And at that time, I'm looking for identity. I want to be loved. I want to be seen.
Mm-hmm.
So, honey, fell in love with this boy. Make a long story short, he took my best friend to prom instead of me. Like, cheated, lied. Girls wanted to jump me in the Dover Mall over him.
Oh my
But you know what narcissists say? Never. It's you that I want.
honey.
Girl. So 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So I'm
gaslighting back in.
yeah, they terrible.
Honey.
So whatever. So I will never, this is the crux of the story. I will never get this day. So we had gotten to a really big argument. And again, the gaslighting, you're tripping, it's not you, whatever, whatever. But in my heart of hearts, like, this is the one for me. This is the one God has for me, blah, 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 blah. So I will never forget, I was in my African-American lit class and I went home and my mom would tell the story that she found me on my bedroom floor. And so we went to the doctor and the doctor said, I want you to know that your daughter had an anxiety attack that was almost a nervous breakdown. She could have lost her mind because I was so heartbroken over this relationship. Girl, I got up off that floor. I said, never again would no man, woman, boy, or child cause me to lose my mind. Like, I was that far gone in that relationship. You know what I mean? And I think that I begin to see that, like, I gotta figure some other stuff out. Like, something has to shift in just how I'm operating in my life and in my world. And I cannot make this person my world. Like, if I'm looking for love, like, it gotta be somewhere else. And that's really in, like, when I was 23, I really began to fall in love with God. Then God led me to these mentees and all the other things. So heartbreak brought me to purpose.
Heartbreak brought you to purpose.
Heartbreak and disappointment.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just in case you don't know, these episodes are brought to you and funded majority from my real estate team, the Erica Ross team. So thank you for continuing to support this channel. And if you're looking to sponsor in any way, one of the best gifts you can give us is a referral. So if you know anyone that's looking to buy or to sell, reach out to us. We are here to help. This was so good. You're going to touch somebody. I know you are.
Aww.
Yeah, because one, the age group, right? It's that 25 to about 30-ish. You're trying to figure out life and you think you have it all together. And then you talk from a church girl perspective. I mean, just so many gems. And then the impact that you actually made with these young girls' lives, and you continue on and you grew it to be something that's just so abundant. Like thousands. Like, this is crazy. Over 11-year span.
God is good.
He is good. I mean, that's just favor all over you.
Oh,
all over you. What is the last words that you like to share with our audience? Now, remember that the age group here is like 25 to 35. I mean, it's right in your wheelhouse, right? If it's the one thing that you wish someone would have told you when you were going through that age range, what would it be?
The waiting is not in vain. So whatever you're waiting for, whatever you are believing to happen in your life, that the wait is not there to be anything but preparation for you. And so we often let the waiting to be married, waiting to buy the house, waiting for the job, waiting for the breakthrough, waiting for the decision, waiting to be chosen to frustrate us. And it becomes a physical weight that we stay there. But I would encourage someone in this age range, or anybody that's listening, to just endure the wait. And as you're waiting, you prepare. You live your best life. That's how you prepare. You do all the things you want to do. You start the business, you write the book, you go to Africa, you jump, you go bungee jumping, you travel, you experience new restaurants, you go to therapy. That in that wait, whatever you're waiting for, that you take the time to prepare. Don't let the wait be the season that you waste. And then when you get what you want, you're like, I'm not ready. And then it passes you by. So I would encourage every man, woman, boy, and girl that's listening to just let the wait be your preparation phase. Like, it's going to be worth the while. It's going to be worth the wait. It's going to be worth the wait. It's going to be worth the wait. It's going to be worth the wait, exceedingly abundantly and beyond. It's going to be worth the wait, that your waiting is not in vain. So wait well. Wait with joy. Drink some coffee and wait.
Girl, she's going to have me cry again.
I love
this.
You're
so
sweet.
Good.
You're so sweet.
So good.
You're so, I don't know if we're still recording, but when I talked to you the other day, I saw all over you that you're stepping into a new season. I saw a divine flipping of the page. And I don't know what the page is turning to be, but everything that you've endured, every loss that you take, you have learned to suffer so well in secret and silent. You know how to show it because that's who God has made you to be. But I want you to know that your waiting has not been in vain. And that Amos 9:13 says that, Erica, in this next season, that your head is going to go like this. You're going to be calling people and saying, it's too good to be true. But I'm telling you what I know, that God has honored you and favored you, and that your wait your weight.
Oh,
The place that you're in is too small for you right now, but your weight is not in vain. And God gonna blow your mind.
Girl.
Yeah, I was blown
not
your
expecting
God
that.
gonna blow your mind.
I was not expecting
blow your
voice
mind.
line. Thank you so much.
I love you. You're like my sister friend.
You are my
You're like, yes.
Yes,
You call me
new
when you
family
need me.
member. Girl.
You call me when you need me. I got your back.
Okay, y'all. I had to go. I have to go. This was so great. I was not expecting the tears. This was you have been a blessing today. Yes,
I came all the way to Delaware just to sit and have some coffee.
Girl.
That's what happens when you were just having sister girl talk.
That's exactly.
We heal each other.
That's exactly what this is about. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
We know you loved what she said. I better see you in the comments. Until next time, we'll see you.
Thank you.